Fife Flyers TV, sponsored by the Bay Hotel, Fife's premier wedding venue.
Todd, congratulations. What was your take on the game tonight?
It's a good team performance tonight. I think that our first period was arguably maybe the best period we played in this building this year. It was a good game, but I think it's important to take note that there was no system change, no personnel change. The difference in that hockey game is that we had the work ethic. You could tell that the guys were committed to playing that hockey game. Cardiff had an excellent pushback in the second period and had us run around a little bit, but they're not. That's the reason they're the top team in the country right now. Is a great hockey club. But I think it's important for us to recognize that we don't want that to be considered a special performance. We want to be considered the performance that we bring week in, week out. And if the guys bring that level of work and commitment, and we don't cut corners and we don't cheat and we stick to it, we're capable of putting performances in like that week in, week out.
Just a great scalp to beat the team, the league leaders, who'd only lost one game in regulation this season so far in the league.
Very, very big scalp. I mean, it was a tough weekend for us. One game weekend against Cardiff Devils. We don't win the last 3 games in a trot. We could be looking at a possible somewhere around 8th place, but tonight we find ourselves up in 2nd place, I believe. So it's a big swing, and that's been three good committed hockey teams that my team's put out there, and we'll be looking for it to continue.
There's just so much confidence in that third period to get those 3 goals as well to make it 4-0.
Yeah, well, I think that we weathered the storm in the second period and we regrouped in the third. We came back and we had a little bit of a pushback of our own, when you can force a team to start pressing a little bit, you might exploit. You see, we got 2 or 3 2-on-1s from it, and Shabes goes down and capitalizes on that big goal for us. So I'm happy for the guys. I've been hard on them the last couple of weeks, but we needed it, and they responded better than I could have expected.
And are you pleased with the way the players are adapting to the new lines?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important that we have a little bit of continuity in the lineup and not having the lines bouncing back and forth. Sometimes when things aren't happening, you need to make changes. Maybe initially we thought it was line chemistry, but right now the lines got mixed up. We lost Brooks for 12 or 13 minutes there. The lines are mixed up, but when you have these guys, when they're working hard, the line changes aren't more of an excuse, because the guys, they didn't miss a beat and they absorbed it well and played a good game tonight.
And as a former forward, were you pleased for Carlo Finucci to get his first goal since the opening weekend?
Of course. I mean, I think that if you look at it, I think the last 2 games we've had 11, it's been 11 different goal scorers on the sheet, both nights, or 7 in Dundee, 4 tonight. I mean, that shows that we have depth in offense. We always knew we had that, but because we weren't putting the work in our own zone, we weren't able to, exploit that. But, like I'd mentioned earlier to you, our first period was arguably one of the best periods we've played this season. And, I don't know if Cardiff were necessarily expecting that, which is a good thing for us.
Just special mention for Shane Owen, another shout out tonight.
I was just talking to Hutch in the office there, and we're saying, if we can get the guys to play consistently at that level, Shane will battle back there for us every night, and he's capable of doing that on a nightly basis. But he needs the horses out front to work for him.
And how much longer can Fife keep this great run going? It's 3 wins in a row now.
Well, I mean, it's a funny old league. You look around again, you see some of the results. It's what I think people have to get out of their head. Certainly, we're encouraging our returning guys to get out of their head. That doesn't appear to be as much of the status quo as there was before. I think you could go into a lot of weekends in the past and pretty much guess on the outcome of all the box scores. But it's just not the case anymore. For example, we swept Dundee last weekend. They've come back and they've got 3 out of 4 points against 2 great opponents. So every team seems to be quite capable of putting these performances in. It's a team that's going to be most consistent and maybe wants it the most that'll be standing at the end of the season.
In the Fife Free Press this week, you said you've been harder on the boys in the last couple of weeks. Are you pleased with how the boys have responded to that?
Yeah, they really needed to, because it was the end of the line for us. As a coach, you have to make a judgment call on the level you expect and push, and you can at times get it wrong both ways. Sometimes you can be too easy on the guys, sometimes you can be too hard. But we found a nice level the last couple of weeks, I'm going to have to keep up the demands of the hard work week in, week out. I mean, we shouldn't feel any less, and I mean, obviously, you come in on a weekend and you win a big game or you sweep a weekend, your week's just set up. Practice is much better. The guys are upbeat. So it's just going to be a case of the coaching staff staying on top of these guys and finding out what individuals need and certainly positively encouraging these guys to realize that, hockey in this league, and certainly hockey in Fife, needs to be played at that level.
Just finally, looking towards next weekend, an away game on Friday night against Belfast Giants, then at home to Edinburgh Capitals on Saturday.
Another tough test. I mean, it looks as if Belfast has gone into Nottingham and won there. I'm not sure if it was at home or not, but they turned over Nottingham tonight, and Belfast may be struggling on their terms, but that's a team that's quite capable of putting in a big performance in any night. So tough test for us going over to Ireland, and then Edinburgh. They keep putting solid performances in. Much was made of a loss that people said maybe that we blew earlier on in the Challenge Cup, but they did near enough exactly the same thing to the Sheffield Steelers last night. Sheffield were fortunate enough to come out on top on the shootout, but I believe they had a 4-1 lead or something. So this Edinburgh team seemed to get stronger as the game goes on. We'll worry about Belfast first, but we have Edinburgh in our building here, and they beat us, in a third period performance last time they were here. So, but we're a different hockey club now. We just got to keep this momentum going, and I'd love to get a nice run of wins here, and does a lot for the confidence.
Cheers, Todd. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Bay Hotel, where your dream wedding becomes reality. Visit us at thebayhotel.net.